Hey everybody, welcome to Psychics and Psychos. I'm Denise SIEGEL and I have the beautiful and talented Irish Granny Helen.
My third eye hurts. Hi, Denise. Finally, we're
I
gonna.
know, I know. It's been too hectic, too crazy.
I
But
know
yes,
it's
we
been.
will be
It
more
has been a
consistent.
very busy few weeks, and just to remind everybody, today we're doing Kyron Horman. It's a hard name to say,
It
and
is.
I already published the kind of the biography of the crime, biography of the story. So if you go back, I'm not going to make false promises. I will try to put a playlist with this so it'll be easy to find. But it
Oh, that's a
shouldn't
good
be,
idea.
yeah, it shouldn't be that hard to find. And I believe the title is probably, oh, Welcome to Psychos and Psychics and Psychos.
Yeah, right. Welcome to
Oh,
Psychics and Psychos. Did I say
okay.
that? I thought I did, but
I don't,
maybe I didn't.
no, I don't think you did, but
Okay, well, it's all good. It's
I
all
could
good.
have been ignoring you as usual.
Mm. True, true.
So we're doing Kyron Horman, and I won't belabor the whole details. As I said, there's a video, but he's a little boy who disappeared from his school, which is so weird, in Portland, Oregon. And just very quickly, he was at school for a science fair early in the morning. He was very proud of what he was doing. The story is he was escorted by one of his parents to the classroom, and she saw him go down the hall where the classroom was. She turned around and she left. And that's the last he was ever seen. And
Wow.
that was in 2010.
10, June 4th. Right. That's what you gave me that date. I have his chart loaded up with that date.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got the birth date too, right? Yeah, that's his
Yeah.
death.
But not the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Hmm.
I gave the whole
I know
talk.
it says
I
that
gave it
date. Yeah.
away.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty clear in the chart. Yeah.
So we thought we would look at him and look at his father and stepmother. We're not going to look at his biological mother. His biological mother was on the other side of the state, multiple witnesses. She had a very close relationship with him. The only reason he was living with his father and stepmother was because his mother was having a health crisis. She was having kidney failure or kidney disease, and was getting treatments and just simply couldn't take care of a toddler. So the father, stepped in and took him. It was not going well. He was crying on the way back to the house after his mother
Well,
would go to visit. Yeah, it was not going
ugh.
well. Yeah.
Hmm.
So you got
Yeah.
his chart up in front of you.
Yeah, I do. Do you want me to go into that?
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
I think we should look at his. Would you want to do his first?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I
Okay.
don't have the other ones. I don't know the other people's birthdays, but I can kind of tell from just some of the dynamics of the family based on his own natal chart.
Yeah.
This is the day he disappeared. And this is this is very much a signature of being murdered. Mars opposing his Uranus and Neptune. This is sort of like violent exits out of the blue, unexpectedly. So that to me indicates he was killed. I mean, I would say maybe if he is in a different circumstance, he might have been in a terrible car accident or something. But this is definitely implies a murder. Okay, so let's just look at his natal chart. Um, so he was probably a nice little kid. He's got the moon in Libra, Mercury in Libra. He's got the sun in Virgo. He was probably very, he was smart. Uh,
Yeah, he was a little
he-
Poindexter. You see pictures of him. He's just kind of got a goofy grin and big glasses, and he was really into science, and
that
he was
makes
just a
sense.
sweet little kid. Yeah.
A sweet little kid. Yeah, very sweet. It's interesting that he's got the South Node and Pluto conjunct. Now, you see a lot of nodal stuff in people that are, you know, murdered. I mean, murderers, but you also see a lot of this in people that are victims as well, where they have some kind of an occlusion. Not, there's also people that have that do not have any, there's nothing murder or murder victim or, murderer. But having like one occlusion is, I've seen this a lot. And the fact that it's Pluto, that's about death and rebirth and transformation. So it seems to me like when someone has an occluded, especially something like Pluto or Neptune, which are sort of transitional planets of transitioning to the other side, they're more likely to be victimized, I think, on some chance. They have, you have to be very protective of yourself and your kid if you have something like that in your chart, because this is sort of like people project their darkness onto people like that. And this kid probably had some, this kind of is right on the cusp of the fourth house. So there's probably a lot of power struggles growing up, and it's squaring his son. There's probably a lot of power struggles with the stepmom. Actually, Sagittarius rules, the in-laws and step parents and stuff like that. So she might have seen him as, he's not doing what I want. She might have been very controlling and, um, you know, really, really kind of hard on him, but more like she wanted him to be sort of totally under her thumb, probably. Um, the Uranus trines the moon. So this is the mom who's nice, and his real mother was probably, is a nice lady, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure, and he has good relationship with her, but she was the Uranus trying to sort of like absent or neglectful, not on purpose, but because she was ill.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Neptune and Aquarius here. He's got a lot of retrograde planets. He's got Neptune and Aquarius here. Shining his Mercury, super bright, super, super smart. Like you said, great with math and science, probably very brilliant, I'm sure. Very and creative kid, probably a very, very good kid. I would bet you he's probably a very sweet kid. And Jupiter, sextiling so the rest of the family, like, I mean, and the dad here with Saturn and Gemini, I don't think the dad probably had a clue. It's training the mom, the first relationship. And there's a grand air trine, again, another indicator. He's super bright. What I don't understand is why the parents really got divorced, because there's a Saturn moon trine here. Do you have any idea why they got divorced, him and the first wife?
Because when his biological mother was 7 months pregnant with Kyron, his father had an affair with the woman who would become his stepmother.
So
Father's okay, allegedly, just gigantic loser, just passive, ineffectual, avoidant,
the father,
immature. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Saturn. Okay, and also the Saturn and Gemini, he want, okay, maybe wanting to. So the dad was just kind of philanderer, sounds like, yeah. But I bet he was. I mean, he probably got along. I mean, the way that Chiron or Kieran would have perceived his parents, they probably didn't really. I mean, they probably got along okay, and it sounds like they got along as friends after
Yeah, they
the
worked
marriage ended.
aggressively. They tried hard to maintain a civil relationship on his behalf, Kyron's behalf.
I mean, and he was an old soul. He's got not only this grand air trine, but he's also got a grand, sort of loose grand fire trine here. So, um,
That's really weird, Denise, because when I did his cards, that was the impression I got, that this was kind of a karmic
yeah,
incarnation for him.
yeah, it was, I think. I think maybe it was more about,
Them.
yeah, about them, kind
Yeah,
of putting them in a situation where they have to learn a lesson. He may
correct.
have sort of been sort of sacrificing himself to, he's got a Jupiter Neptune opposition here. Very, very, very spiritual, very intuitive kid, very creative kid. So, and a very old soul. So,
Yeah.
he must have known on some level coming into this that he was there to kind of, I mean, not his, as a little kid he wouldn't know, but his soul knew that he was
Correct.
coming into a situation to teach a lesson and to kind of, unfortunately, the lesson would be of sacrificing himself for
Mm-hmm.
the enlightenment of the others, for the family. So, yeah, I
Well, it
mean,
didn't have to be. It was a choice.
no, it
Yeah.
was a choice, right?
Yeah.
But that was one possible iteration.
Yeah.
And Mars in the 12th is, that's also kind of a placement where, you know, you can have somebody who is victimized through violence and things like that, you know. So I mean, and it also screws the Pluto. And the Venus is ruling the ninth here in Scorpio. So there you go. It's the ruler of the, so this is the ruler of his this would be his stepmother. And Venus and Scorpio is ruled by the Pluto and the Mars, which are in square. So the stepmother, very controlling, jealous, probably felt like if, you know, this might have been a total act of control to kill him was sort of like, oh, sorry. Um, you know, the actual murder of him was an act of control, perhaps, you know. Maybe she didn't want him in the way. She just wanted to just, she's jealous of the first relationship, jealous
Well,
of
there
the
were
first
huge,
wife.
huge, huge red flags from his teachers after the fact. They said that his teacher said that she would get calls almost every day. Uh, you know, rigid control of him.
Right, very controlling. And the ultimate act of control was to murder him, you know. So it's a very, very tragic situation. Poor kid. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just terrible. I mean, the dad with his Saturn and as part of the Grand Trine was probably just fucking out to lunch, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just in his own world, you know, was
Yep.
not paying attention at all to
Well, I
what was
did
going
cards on him, and I've got a story for you about him. But
on. Okay. Yeah. I don't know anything about this case. I just want to say. So all I know is like looking it up for 1 second and you telling me, I mean, but it was, you didn't, before you even really said anything, it's so obvious that he was murdered. I mean, you said he
yeah,
was, you know, disappeared, but he died that day. I'm sure he was murdered that day.
yes,
His
yes,
body was,
yeah.
um,
It's a famous case in Portland, Oregon.
right.
Um, because it's such a mystery when a child disappears out of the building, the school building.
Okay, Square Venus too.
It
Yeah,
really,
there's a lot of there's a lot of even things in his chart that kind of imply the stepmother would be very dangerous for him, you know.
really.
Um, I mean, you got to think like dad must have seen some of this stuff, you know. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? How did he fucking not see how crazy this person was and how controlling and irrational and, you know, dangerous she was.
Well,
That's
I'll tell you why. I did his cards. We can talk about it. I don't have his birth
okay.
date
Yeah,
for
but
you.
yeah, let me stop the share and you can go ahead and
So
okay.
Kyron's cards, they're like a complete story of tragedy. It's really sad.
Yeah,
So
it
at
is
the
so.
heart of it, I got the Eight of Cups reversed crossed by the Four of Cups, which is
Hmm.
about living in an unbearable
Illusion.
situation, having no emotional support, nobody feeling a sense of desperation, wanting out of a situation, but having no agency about it. And in the atmosphere, strength reversed. He was just a little kid. He had no power. He had
Right.
totally weak. And then look at the foundation, the Three Swords.
Oh yeah,
I,
cheating. Yeah,
well,
that's a love
not
triangle.
only that, but the Three of Swords.
Lying.
To
Yeah.
me, this is about the child. This is the
Oh,
child's
well,
card,
yeah. Well, he
and to
can't tell
me,
anybody probably what's going on. He had to
right. But
keep
it's about
right.
the heartbreak of the situation. Really
Sure. Yeah. Yeah,
jumps
sure.
out. And
Yeah.
in the recent past, I think this is really kind of funny on a couple of levels. I got the Three of Pentacles reversed. So the Three of Pentacles is about cooperating, working together. You know, like
Yeah.
a happy family, right? Uh, Reversed, I think it's the total opposite. It's the disintegration of that relationship. But I thought it was so interesting. It was three people. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I read too much into it, but it's fun. And then the future for the future, I got the Ten of Wands, and I think that he didn't have a future. So this is about the event itself. It's like a culmination of struggle, and it's going nowhere.
Right.
He did not have a way out. He was overwhelmed, and it was also, I think, symbolic of who we think might be the perpetrator, because there's a lot of stress related to the situation,
Right.
overburdened. So This is himself in this situation. Or the Two of Cups reversed. I mean, aren't these terrible cards? I mean, just about
Yeah.
relationships falling apart. It's terrible. And no future, you know, I'm sorry, the
Right.
Three of Wands, no future in it. His fear, I got the Queen of Pentacles, and I'm thinking,
Well, but the Three of Wands could also be a business arrangement. A
well,
business arrangement.
I have more about that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's that's what usually it means. Yeah,
there's
some
more
kind of
coming up
business
about that.
partnership. That's what,
Don't spoil the fun.
okay, but that's what it usually represents. Yeah. Business partnership. Yeah.
Plans, the falling apart of the relationship and plans being made, and that's what you're
Right.
getting at. Yeah.
Business relationship.
And then
Yep.
I think this is his hopes and fears. I think he was really afraid of her. I think he was very afraid of her and what she would do to him. But look at the outcome. This is so sad. The Seven of Pentacles crossed by the moon. So just, an unfinished life, uncertainty, deception.
But yeah, I also think though with that moon card, I bet you somebody knows something. Somebody knows something.
Well, we're getting to it. We're getting to it. It's hard to talk about without mentioning names, so I have to kind of go through the back door
Yeah,
to get that.
that's fine. Yeah.
So, who are we going to? Oh, the father, because we don't have cards on them. We don't have a birth date on the
I
father.
don't have him. Yeah.
So his name is Cain. Kain. What's with these weird names? Kyron.
That is a weird name. Yeah, Kane, especially with a K.
Kairen to me sounds like almost like a planet.
Chiron, it is a planet, but
Oh,
it's not
okay.
spelled that way. It's not spelled with
Okay.
a K. Yeah. And Chiron was a wounded healer, ironically,
Well, that is
which kind of if it sort of fits this thing where it's like he
yes,
came to kind of teach them a lesson,
an opportunity
you
for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the father, we get the Hermit reversed, crossed by the Six of Swords reversed. And this father's been described, even the biological mother, it's one of the reasons she left him, besides the infidelity. He was avoidant of confrontation to the point where you get the impression of somebody sitting on the sofa watching TV and drinking a beer while the world falls apart around him.
Right.
Right. And so he'd be willing to not that he didn't know what was going on. He was willing to look the other way because to him what mattered most was the preservation of the image of the relationship.
Or maybe he's just fucking lazy. Maybe he's just really fucking lazy too. Doesn't want to do the work of anything.
Yeah. I once heard the mother, because I watched a bunch of videos on this, and in one of them, the biological mother said she told him, you need to get off your butt and do something. You need to stop this. He's passive, really passive.
Right.
So in the atmosphere, we get Temperance, and it's like he'd do anything for harmony. He would do anything to keep that impression of everything's doing well. And then, I have 25 decks of cards here because I had to use separate decks for each of them. What did I get? Oh, Foundation. Okay. The Hierophant, which can be about being a kind of structured thinker or rigid person. He's very conventional. And he, like I said, he wants everyone to have the impression that this is a successful, functional relationship in their house. It's about perception of other people rather than actual substance of what's really going on.
Or do you think it could also mean maybe that he's conforming to this idea of mother, father, child, and he's in this structure, and this is kind of what he knows, and he doesn't bother to examine outside of that, kind of like that brainwashing kind of thing that happens when you're not looking outside, like.
Well, yeah, he's avoidant.
Avoidant. Just kind of like, this is how it is. I don't have to think about it. It's all settled kind of thing.
Non-confrontational, avoidant, look the other way. The kind of guy that would put his fingers in his ears and go, la, 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 la. Doesn't want to
Right.
know, doesn't want to see. So in the past, and I think this is leading up to the event, is how I would put it. The Queen of Wands, she totally dominated this whole situation. I think he
Right.
might have been a little afraid of her.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? She didn't prove to be what he thought she was going to be. They were wild young things when his boring old wife was pregnant. They were out having a hot time, and she was lifting weights, and and things changed drastically after they got married. Uh, Look what I got for the future, and I'm hoping that this is true and not a reflection of just his longing. Justice.
Hmm.
Okay, this is my take on it. He knows what happened, basically. He knows.
Yeah, he does.
He
Yeah.
knows.
I'm sure he
And he
knows.
wants
Yeah.
nothing more than justice for his child. So this is him. The Seven of Pentacles reversed, crossed by the Four of Wands. And I think that he is just this lump of inactivity is
Yeah,
the
right. Yeah, that's
fear.
what those cards are about.
Oh, okay. Just
Yeah.
somebody who just is paralyzed, who
He
does
is
nothing.
paralyzed. He doesn't know what
Yeah,
to do. Yeah, he
yeah,
doesn't know what to
yeah.
do. Yeah.
Uh, well, the
Yeah.
Four of Wands is in the environment, and I think it's not crossing it; it's in the environment. And I think you're looking at somebody who sees the writing on the wall. The institution of his marriage is going to be overturned. Things are not going well, but he's totally incapable of being adult in the situation. And his fear, the Five of Cups, I think he
Hmm.
fears, he knows what's going to, the
Yes.
ultimate
Right.
outcome is. Yeah, yeah, he knows. He absolutely knows. And then this is really, you couldn't, to me, these cards basically tell the story so clearly. There's no ambiguity. So
Right.
the outcome is the Three of Swords,
Hmm. Yeah.
pain, suffering,
Disappointment. Yeah. That's
crossed
also
by the Two of Pentacles.
also the Three of Swords is you see it a lot in triangulated situations where one person is pitted against someone, like an interloper in a relationship.
Yeah.
You know,
And my if I remember correctly, the Three of Swords, it seems so dire. It seems like finality, but it actually has a hint of healing. And you said something so interesting that Chiron was a healer.
right? Wounded healer. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The Three of Swords too makes me think. Also, I wonder, because that's the card that comes up. If you are doing a reading for someone and that card comes up, that's often a card of cheating. Like somebody's cheating on someone else. It's the
Oh, I
heart
didn't
with the
know that.
swords comes up.
Well, we
Yes.
already know that to be true of him.
Right, exactly. So it's interesting that it came up multiple times as
It
like the
has, yeah.
source.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like there may be maybe I'm wondering if it's in his cards too, like what did I do? Like I fucked up my life. I went with this crazy woman and cheated on the good woman and put my kid in. I mean, I wonder if it might represent some guilt
Regret.
and disappointment and
Yeah.
regret in himself for doing that behavior.
And might
Like he
also
put
reflect
it upon himself.
a little bit her, because I think she probably was also fooling around.
Probably.
Yeah.
Which one? Wait, which wife? The first or the
This,
second? The
no, the
second.
first wife's solid. She's
Right,
not
that's what I
even.
thought. Right.
Yeah, no, she's
I mean,
solid.
my psychic impression of the second wife is she's just kind of like there's something like she's
Wrong, is that the word you're looking
well,
for?
more than that, like she's a really out of control, borderline narcissist kind of personality, you
That's what I
know?
was implying. Yeah, yeah. There's something inherently wrong with her. Not
Yeah, there
instability,
is.
a
Yeah, she's
deep-seated
very unstable.
instability. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna look at her cards right now, and it's something else. So
Hmm.
with that in mind, here are her cards. The Seven of Pentacles reverse, crossed by Temperance reverse,
Wow.
completely out of balance and missing
Mm-hmm.
a
Right.
couple of marbles. Yeah.
Right, right.
Well, missing a couple of pentacles, but uh And I can't read my handwriting. Okay, this is the atmosphere. Strength reversed. I
Hmm.
looked this up because I thought that was interesting. I thought she was kind of the dominant person, but this can also mean abuse of power.
Yeah, it could. Yeah,
And
it
that
could. Yeah.
that to me that jumps out. And then try to guess what card I got at the foundation. And this is just describing her.
I don't know. It could be a lot of things. What did you get?
The magician.
Oh, the magician.
That makes sense though, doesn't it? The magician being somebody who
Makes
will go to any lengths to make things happen. When once she
right
gets a thought in her mind of
on
what she
her.
wants,
Yeah,
right,
she has
she'll.
to manifest it. She
Oh,
wants to
you
make it
took the word
happen.
out of my mouth. I was going to go manifest.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, in the past, and I think this is significant because this is in keeping with prevailing psychological theories. In her past, the Five of Pentacles, I
Oh.
think she has a very troubled background. And what
Oh yeah.
little I don't remember, I don't want to be misspeaking, but if I remember correctly, I think she was adopted, and I think
Oh
there were
yeah. That I saw that real briefly.
issues,
Yeah.
yeah, issues around that. And this is an interesting card for the future
The
because this
dark
is
night. That's the dark night. That's the dark night of the soul too. That card. The dark.
the
It's called the
Five
dark night of
of
the soul.
Pentacles. That's
Yeah.
a really awful card to get.
It's a very awful card. Yeah.
In these people's readings, I got a conglomeration of more negative cards than I usually ever get. Like
Right.
repeated Three of Swords, repeated Five of Pentacles, repeated
Right. That's very dark.
Tower.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are
just
very dark, very bad. Yeah.
yeah, bad
Yeah.
feeling. And this card is not the kind of card that I would have anticipated seeing until I thought about it a little bit. I got for her future the
Oh, the hermit.
Hermit. And then
Mm.
I thought,
I'm
oh,
alone.
all
Could be
alone, that
incarceration.
isolation. Yeah.
Right, right. Could be
That's
incarceration. Yeah.
promising. But I think it also talks about the need for her to be soul searching, the need
Yeah.
for introspection and self evaluation. Never going to happen. Um,
Right.
her right now, and this is, boy, talk about conniving ego. Those are the two words that came to my mind. Conniving ego, the Three of Pentacles crossing the Nine of Pentacles. This is somebody who is grandiose and
Hmm.
very narcissistic, I think. This is how the
Right.
cards feel to me, and will embroil other people in her web.
You know what, too? I wonder if another thing about this too, because the Nine of Pentacles can also be motherhood or being a mother, and the other one is about sort of a business arrangement. I wonder if she saw the little boy as a threat to her relationship
Oh,
with,
she absolutely did. Yeah.
yeah, if that's part of what that means too. Yeah.
Once she had her own baby, it was like no time for
Right.
him at
This
all.
is
Yeah.
my baby.
Yeah.
Get rid of this one,
Right. He
you
was an
know?
annoyance, and he was a really good child. So it's very
He
sad.
was.
So
It is very
hopes
sad.
and fears. What did I say? The Tower. I think she, for
Wow.
somebody who is, okay, allegedly devoid of a normal level of emotions and empathy, she
Right.
does have that sort of atavistic fear of being caught. I do think
Yeah.
she.
And that, I wonder too if that tower card was maybe her fear that he would leave her if, or something like that. Do you think that might have motivated, like, if it's only about me and my
No,
kid
you
and
know what I
him?
think? The feeling I got, and I could be wrong, the feeling I
Right.
got was that this child was an interloper. She really didn't want him
Right.
there. She resented
Yeah.
having to take care of him. He wasn't
Right.
a problem. Everybody loved him.
Mm-hmm.
But she wanted to be the star of the show, and he
Right.
was getting attention from the father that she resented.
Wanted.
He
Yeah.
wanted it to be the triad of her, the father, and their daughter, not the
Right.
quadrant of, the four of
Right.
them.
Right. Of the kid from the other relationship, reminding her of, his other marriage and all that. That makes sense. Jealous of that. Wait, so where did the tower card come up in that spread?
Fear, fear, her
Oh,
fear.
the fear. Okay, the
Yeah.
fear of an ending of
So I do think
trauma
she
being caught.
worries.
Yeah,
But I think, I from the outcome here, these cards, my feeling is of somebody who, it's a fait accompli. I can't change the past. I'm stuck with what we've done, and I hope
right,
I get away with it. But it
right,
bothers her in the sense of a fear of being caught, being,
right. Is
I'm
that the
sorry, it's
Seven
the
of Swords?
hangman and
Oh
the
yeah,
seven
the
of
Hangman and Seven of
swords.
Swords.
Are
Yeah,
these awful cards for a person?
yeah,
Just
that's all really
so
bad. Yeah,
I didn't really write out a big description of her, but I think this is your classic, alleged classic psychopathic behavior or personality
yeah,
disorder behavior,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
totally
Yeah,
self-serving.
totally self-centered. Yeah, completely.
Now, here's the really bad thing, and I'm not going to name names because nothing has been proven, but there are allegations, and there have been interrogations of a close friend of hers
Mm,
helping her.
right.
And I couldn't figure out, but then I did the cards and I went, oh, this never occurred to me. So this particular friend disappeared from work during the hours where stepmother also disappeared.
Right,
And
right.
they believed that they were together, and there
Mm-hmm.
was aiding and abetting. Let's put it that way. So,
Okay.
without saying the person's name, let me see here. I got my cards upside down. Now, remember what we just got for the outcome of the stepmother? We got
The Tower. No, the
well,
Seven of Swords
Seven of
and the
Swords.
Hangman.
So,
Right.
the very first card I got when I looked at this friend was the Seven of Swords.
Wow. The lying card. The
Yeah,
stealing card. Yeah.
collusion. But then crossed by the Nine of Cups. So I think
Hmm.
there's this self-serving, uh, we're going to get away with it, we're smarter than everybody else, kind of a sense about it to me, a sense of co-conspirators who are pretty cocksure of themselves. And I do think, look, it's in the atmosphere is the moon, lying,
Hmm. Yeah,
deception.
the deception. Yeah.
I do think there's an element of mistrust between the two of them. I think that they don't entirely uh, trust the other not to rat them out, and you'll see why when we do a few more cards. And at
I
the
think
foundation,
that's
I got
makes
the
sense.
Eight of Wands, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's about impulsivity, things happening fast. I think this was a situation where,
Yeah,
hey,
that's what it seems like.
come and help
Yeah.
me, and it was a hurry to do it and get it hidden and get away with
I
it.
wonder too, what do you think about this, Ellen? Some of this, I wonder if this woman, the friend, really has with the Nine of Cups, has really intense feelings for this woman. Like she's really, you know,
Yeah.
and there's lying that this woman lied. Oh, maybe she could make up. Oh, I hit him and I didn't mean to. And you got to help me. Like it almost seems like she was maybe tricked into possibly that's one read of this.
Well,
And
I actually got that. Well, I'll show you the card I got right now. I got that there may have been money passed. I think she
oh,
offered
okay.
her
Well, that
money.
could be too.
Yeah, and I don't know if there was
Maybe
an
to stay
insurance.
quiet though. Maybe to stay quiet once
That's
she,
right,
yeah, right.
right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very weird situation. Um, well, this I got in the close past, the near recent past before the event happened. And
Okay,
I
so
think they may
maybe,
have discussed
yeah.
money before it even happened. But then
Okay.
look what I get in her future afterwards, the Ten of Pentacles.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of
Oh,
money.
I'm
So it
sorry,
does
not the
seem
10, the Nine of Pentacles. But that's
okay,
the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of
similar.
money, and it's a sense of self satisfaction. I think it worked out. Okay, what I see is two people that shouldn't be trusted and can't trust each other, and they're constantly fearing that the other is going to stab her in the back, that kind of thing. But there's no honesty, is that the word, amongst thieves? But at the same
Right.
time, it doesn't serve either one of them to let the story slip. and that's their protection. If one goes down, they
It's their
both go.
bond. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah,
They're both lying because
yeah.
they have no choice. Right.
And this is her herself, the Knight of Swords. And the impression I get from this
Detached.
card and the Eight of Wands is somebody who is really hyper and impulsive and will take a swift kind of irretrievable action without a lot of thought. You know, that Eight
Right.
of Wands, that hyperkinetic energy. That's what I
Right.
got from her.
Well, that's the Knight of Swords also could be she's kind of detached a little bit too. Like she's cold. She doesn't have
This is a queen.
like
Actually, we both got it wrong. It's the Queen of Swords. But doesn't
it's the
that look
Queen
like
of
the
Swords.
Knight of Swords?
Yeah, 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 it
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
Yeah. So the Queen of Swords, but that's still like a could be like but it could in it could be that she's also it's all about the money and she's detached from the act itself and she's got this an emotional connection to this friend and it's an impulsive thing. Well, yeah, I want the money. I don't care about that
Mm-hmm.
kid. She's
Yeah,
my friend, kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah. But
Yeah.
interestingly enough, it's in the environment. We got this card with the other deck. The
Right.
Magician again. She's in the under the
Yeah.
influence and pressure of this friend.
Yes.
Yeah,
Manifest to manifest the thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
And this
Interesting.
is hopes or fears. I think it's fears. I think they fear of falling out, and one will rat on the other.
Oh yeah. Competitive competition.
But
Yeah.
the outcome is that it's self protective to keep things to keep the lie, to maintain the lie,
Yeah.
uh,
Oh, for sure.
cooperating and maintaining an even relationship is
Well, if
beneficial
one
to
goes
both.
down, the other one will go
That's
down.
what I'm
They
trying to say.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can't tell on each other
This
no matter
person is
what.
sort of manipulatable.
Yeah. Right. That's what it
Yeah.
seems like. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Definitely.
but I do think money may have,
It
let's
looks
say,
like it.
promises of some tangible thing crossed hands.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like that for sure.
Yeah. What a
Wow.
sad, sad, sad story.
Yeah. It's really disturbing.
And you know who I blame?
The father. Same.
His job was to protect that child.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, she's the one to blame for the ultimate thing, but his stupidity and bad decisions and lack of, and his complacency and his lack of, you know,
Yeah.
doing his job as a patriarch, as a father,
Mm-hmm.
all of those things really it amounts to a lot of bad decisions on that guy's part that ended up getting his kid killed, really.
Well, he brought her into their lives.
That's right.
He did when his wife was pregnant.
That's right.
I hate to judge, but he did when his wife was pregnant. He turned a blind eye when his child was not being treated with kindness and
That's
care,
right. That's right.
and made excuses after the fact. He
Right.
did. Oh, I left out one of the best parts of the story. So he did eventually leave her, but the instigation for him to leave was when the FBI told him that she tried to hire a hitman to kill him.
Wow. That's the only thing that mattered to him was his own safety, his own security, his own physical safety.
Yeah.
He must be an incredibly selfish human and just very I mean, he reads like somebody who's incredibly lazy and selfish
Mhm.
and gluttonous and just kind of like it's all about him and doesn't think outside of that. And this was a lesson to him to stop being like that, but I don't know if he got it.
They
He
were.
probably didn't.
And
No.
in the end here, unless somebody talks, I don't think they'll ever know what happened.
I agree.
I don't think they're ever going to find any kind of evidence or, unless they find his body and they
They
kind of
could
have a
maybe find his body. I think
general
they
area where
yeah.
he's buried. Uh,
Yep.
it's like some kind of a nature preserve thing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
But
I
even if
bet
they find
you
his body, it's been so long.
well, if you found a bone, you could do the DNA, prove that he was murdered. Whether or not you could prove it was, but if the mother was the last person seen with him, the stepmother, That's good enough for a jury probably to convict her. I really wish sometimes that, like, you know, police officers would reach out to people who are psychic for stuff like that, because I really think somebody who's psychic could probably find that body. You know that? I
Well,
really think so.
Denise, let's find the phone number for you.
I mean, I would be totally willing to go out there and try to find the body. I bet you can feel when the stuff like crimes happen, they leave a residue that is so strong that if you're psychic, you can really kind of follow the trail in ways that, like, it's hard to describe. It's very intense. I
Now,
would
I don't
think
pick up
there
on.
must be someone in that there must be someone in that area that they could
Oh,
tap,
of
that
course
would,
there is. Of course there is.
that could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't pick up on necessarily, the site of a murder. But if I go into an older building or someplace that I find out later is like an historical thing,
Right.
um, there is a sense of heaviness in the atmosphere. I don't know how to
Right.
describe it, but you don't feel
Right.
like you're completely alone. you know?
No, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but trauma sites like rapes, murders, if
Car wrecks.
I can, yeah, I can feel them. Like, especially like human on human violence. It leaves such trauma signature that you can feel it, for forever, for a long time. I mean, maybe eventually it dissipates, but um, yeah, it's pretty intense. So I don't know. I
Would
mean, I
you
wish
remember?
somebody would.
Did you know, or do you remember Carolyn Booker?
My name is familiar, but I don't know
Yeah,
how I know
she
it.
she was on a number of different YouTube channels. She was a medium. She and her
Hmm.
husband both were mediums, and some of the stories that she told about her experiences were really mind blowing. Here's an example. One night they were driving home late at night, and it was someplace like Virginia, somewhere kind
Right.
of near DC, but kind of the South, but not really, And it was countryish, rural. And as they drove along, they started seeing scattering groups of people walking along the road. And
Right.
because it was Virginia or wherever, they thought, oh, there must be some sort of a reenactment encampment going on because that
Right. I
was
remember you telling. I think you told me about this. That's
turns
how I know
out
it. Yeah.
they were seeing dead people. They were seeing
Ghosts.
Civil
Yeah.
War people. Yeah.
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 Right. Right. That makes sense.
She
Yeah.
was she was an incredible medium. I mean, she saw all kinds of stuff all the time. It was just
Right.
incredible. They went someplace in England. I want to say Hampton House is the name of it. Henry VIII built it. I think he might have built it for Anne Boleyn. I could be lying, but I think that's the truth. And they actually saw a woman in that
I think I
time
remember you
period
telling me that too. Right.
running up
Right.
and down the hall, banging on doors and yelling, Henry,
So he
Henry.
must have been psychic too. He must have been also psychic.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. 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 Wow. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she died recently. I don't know if
Oh,
you knew.
I'm sorry to hear that. How old
Yeah,
was
she was
she?
elderly. I don't know
80s,
exactly.
maybe? Yeah.
Pardon?
Maybe in her 80s or something.
Maybe, but she was also very unwell for a long time and very frail. So she may have looked older than she was. I can't. It's hard for me to say exactly. She
Right.
was just such a
Was she
nice.
English? Was she English or
He
American?
was. He
Okay, she
was.
was
He was.
American though.
Yeah, she was
Okay.
American. He was. They had a very romantic, meet cute story, and
Aw.
he was a musician. He played in a
Sounds like me and my
traveling
husband.
Peter.
Not exactly. Aw, that's sweet.
Peter Booker. He wasn't. He
Right.
wasn't that kind of musician. He played
Right.
in a marching band with the military, the
Oh,
Royal
wow.
Somebody military in England. Yeah,
Wow, that's wild.
yeah.
Well, they're both Neptune ruled, music and being a medium. So,
Well, they're
I,
both
and
both mediums.
yeah, right. But that's also common for people who are kind of like creatives, I think, to be kind of psychic. But it sounds like he was a full blown medium himself. Maybe he developed that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
really really fun to speak with. Really lovely people. It's very sad.
It
kind of
is
miss
sad.
her. I had her on my channel. I talked to her a while, a bit,
Right.
uh, a number of different times. So we weren't deeply intimate friends or anything, but I miss her. Just a really
It's sad.
nice person. Yeah,
I
yeah.
bet. I bet. Yeah,
Well,
that's
she's
too bad.
okay. She's okay, but
She's okay. She's better off where she's at probably than here right now.
oh my God.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel worse for him because they were married a long time.
Yes. Yeah, I feel bad for him too. That's terrible. To lose
Hard.
your partner. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
lonely. Well,
it
on that
is.
happy note, we managed to make
Yes.
it be a big bummer downer, and we didn't even talk about politics, Denise.
No. But ironically, this mirrors some of the disturbing things that we're seeing come out, you know,
This
as
crime,
well. Yes.
you
Not in the
know,
same way, but
no,
it's a
correct.
child, though, you know.
People have been asking me a lot about it because I haven't talked about it a lot. And I
Right.
haven't talked about it a lot because I've been talking about it for 5 years. I'm sick of talking about it. I'm
Right.
absolutely gobsmacked that all of a sudden now people are paying attention because one young man makes an accusation. Thousands of women were
Yeah.
victims.
Well, you know what? This is the thing. I mean, the whole thing is kind of a bit hard to understand how you could see even just the public information about these people and to not be able to put the pieces together that are so obvious,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it is mind-boggling a bit, but
Well,
the
it's
level
time.
of
It's that time.
depravity,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but the level of depravity is, I think, a whole other level of depravity that is probably kind of, shocking to a lot of people. But this is something like I was talking to someone, it's like this is not new. This kind of shit has been going on for a long ass time, for generations. These kind of sick people exist, and they're
Yep.
often in powerful positions.
Do you remember the Franklin scandal?
No,
The
I
Franklin
don't.
saving the loan scandal in Omaha, Nebraska. And when they looked into the fraudulent money part of it, this is in think the 70s. They looked
Okay, yeah.
into it. There was a member of Congress, I want to say John Vandekamp, I think. The perpetrator of the money scandal was a guy called Larry King, but he was an
Oh,
African
right, right. I remember, yeah, you guys were talking about it in class. Right, yeah.
Yeah. And when they actually dug down deep into the story, they uncovered layers of like the accusations against Epstein. We have to be
Right.
careful what we say. But it's that time of the week. I have to recommend Craig Unger's book again. 5 years now, every week, American Compromise. It's all in there already.
Right, right, right. I know. It's not new information. It's
No.
just I mean that's what's really, because I mean for a long time, uh it's like, well, what could be in the Epstein files that we don't kind of already know on some level? But I guess seeing it and all the documentation, all the accusations, and just the level of there's so much smoke here. I think that's what's probably making it real. Because a lot of people can't, I think 99% of the problems that we're in is failure of imagination for people. It's a
People are
failure
in
of imagination.
such denial about it. I've heard
Yeah,
people say, well, that's just lies.
right. Because they don't want to think about it. That's basically it. They don't want to think about it. They don't want to see that. It's too painful.
Well,
Yeah,
30 years ago, I was talking about
yeah, right.
to my family,
Yeah,
and the general reaction is, "You're a conspiracy theorist."
right, right. Well, I mean, I heard stories about this, like I said, when I worked as a psychic back in the early 90s from people. I mean, I remember as a kid kind of getting that vibe of men who were creepy. And like I could tell there was shit going on. You know what I mean?
My
Um,
mother had a friend. This is a great story. My mother had a friend who was a widow, and we knew her when she was still married. Her husband died, and she was a close family friend. She was a generation older than my parents, and I always really liked her. She went to college when young women didn't go to college in the 20s. She was a flapper, and she still
right.
rolled her nylons up above her knee with elastic like the flappers did. I
Yeah,
was
it's
so
cute.
taken with her. She got a boyfriend, and this was an older guy who had a lot of money. And he started coming around with her when she would come over to visit. And I remember that he would, this is so funny. Kids are oblivious. He would offer us a quarter to come over and give him a kiss on the cheek. And my mother took me aside and said, "You say no, thank you, and you leave the room. You could keep away from him." And
Yeah, that's right.
now I know what I just didn't understand. Why? Wait a minute, I want the quarter, but in those
There was
days,
a
that was not.
guy, we lived in a building in Chicago for a little while before right before my dad died. We lived in this place that they inherited from my parents inherited. Anyway, and in the building there was this cat lady, and I love cats. My mom would not let me get a cat. She did not like cats. So I used to go to her house, her apartment, and play with her cats and hang out with her cats. And then my mom's like, "Oh, well, she might as well babysit you, because you like to hang out at her place." So she's kind of an odd woman. She was maybe kind of maybe she was a little bit mentally retarded, I think, kind of borderline, but she was nice and her cats were sweet. And so I'm there one day and this guy comes over that's supposed to be her boyfriend. And he comes over and he gave me the creeps. Like he was super like dark energy. I was about 9 years old. And he's like, "Oh, you're so much more beautiful than your mother. And come and give you a kiss." And I was like, "Meh," and I left. And I was really freaked out. He was clearly a molester. And I was like watching her, and she wasn't doing anything. She was like, the cat lady was just like
Oblivious.
totally oblivious. I went back to and told my parents, and they're like, "Stay away from them," and then I stayed away from there. But it was like really creepy. The kind of energy I could tell the guy was going to try to rape me or something like that as soon as he got a chance. And
There are people like that who do glom on to passive women who are vulnerable
yes,
because they're unaware.
lonely,
Yeah,
lonely. And she
yeah,
was, I think probably she was probably
disabled
a little
developmentally.
below,
Yeah,
yeah, mentally disabled. Yeah, I think she was. She was a nice lady though. I mean, I felt bad for her. Like you said, I felt like he was using her or something like that.
yeah,
It was really sad. I felt bad for her. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's a good point to make, Denise. There's nothing new about any of this,
No,
and
there
people think,
isn't.
"Oh, it's gotten so bad." No, it hasn't. It's been bad for a very long
Right.
time.
For generations, this kind
Yeah,
of shit's been going on.
yeah. Go
Yeah.
back and read about what life was like for women in medieval times.
Oh yeah. No, God knows. That was awful.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
children. Read about
And
that.
children. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
disturbing. On that beautiful, happy note,
You have to
we
go.
shall,
Yeah.
well, well, yeah. But okay. But thanks
Thank you,
everybody
everybody.
for
Yeah.
watching
Hope you
Psychics and
enjoyed that
Psychos.
story. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We'll come back soon and talk about, are we going to do next Manson?
Yeah. We're going to do Charlie Manson.
Okay. We're going to do Manson. So that
Yeah.
should be interesting. All right.
Oh, I found some great YouTube channels, psychology YouTube channels about him.
Oh, you have to
Oh, so
tell me
good. I've
that.
already recorded the videos. I've just been waiting to do this.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Okay. So that will be coming soon. All
Yeah.
right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Blessings to all of
Thank
you.
you. Yeah.